just think with Randy Moss in this field, good conditions, 2 weeks off, I think he's going to have a big game, and I think he's going to have a big day. I don't love the Giants secondary. I know they've played fairly well here. I just don't think that Moss, I think he's going to be a big factor in this game. I don't think the Giants secondary can hold him down. You are not going to tell me that this team that has scored point after point after point, that scored 7 consecutive possessions against Jacksonville, ran out the clock against San Diego when they could have scored a lot more on a windy day with a quarterback with a bad ankle. You are not going to tell me that this football team here on Sunday afternoon is not getting in the 30s. You're not telling me that. I know you Giant fans want to have your 3rd championship. Dennis and Yonkers is up there praying and all those kinds of things. Doing the Nirvana. I know that. I know you think you got a special team. You like the Magic Carpet Ride. You like the Karma. You like all these things. Written for dead Coughlin. Written for dead Manning. Now you're big Coughlin and Manning fans. This will be ugly. Patriots 49, Giants 7. Sunday afternoon in Arizona.
I am an enormous Tom Brady fan. I have been. As Dog knows, I've been on him since the day he took over. I told Dog he was going to be really good. I saw something in him, and I just thought I didn't think he was going to be this, but I did think he was going to be good. He's going to be the MVP. He's going to go like, 23 for 32 for like 310 and 4 touchdowns and roll off into the sunset with that hot model. 35-17. I think the question will be, they'll get down inside the red zone enough times to make it interesting. The question is, will they score when they get down there? Oh, that's the
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? The Mike and the Mad Dog Radio program. Good to have you aboard on this 4th day of February, the year 2008. A happy day if you're a New York sports fan. Mike and Chris will take you throughout the afternoon. The Yes folks, of course, are here, too. What a wonderful job they do with our pals today. We're going to send Eddie Erickson home. He's been sick for 3 days, so off he goes. But we'll have Sal Licata in there, Dove Kramer in there. We'll put some other people in the board in that room as Mike and I will take it throughout the afternoon. Great job by Joe and Evan, by the way. Give them a lot of credit. They did the extra hour here. They had to stay out in Phoenix, so they did a wonderful job. Good job. Those two, and they worked all weekend, too. Mike and Chris will take you throughout the 6:30. Mike was nice enough to have me on the show last night, so we discussed this for an hour. We will discuss it for the next 4.5, maybe with more of your calls this time.
Yeah, we'll get a lot of calls.
But give you a chance to get on, both of us, especially me. I know you're all over that.
And we got Phil.
In fact, you won a championship.
And Phil Sims will come on to analyze the game for us later in the show.
We called Phil, so we're going to put him up a little bit later on, too.
And it was, hey, you know what I felt like, Dog? I was thinking about it just driving in now. We got home this morning, Dog and I, and, Dog got a longer trip home because we landed on Long Island, and after I played with my kids for a while, I took a nap for like 2 hours. But when I was driving in now, I was thinking it was the first time, I think, at least for me, that since Super Bowl 25, where I actually felt like a fan. I was in the stands. I was rooting. I was going crazy. I was in a Giants section. I had Archie and Cooper right behind me, during the game. I wanted the Pats to lose, because I don't like them. And I always have liked Eli and pull for him. I've liked this Giant team a little more now. It's grown on me. Some of the young guys like Bradshaw and Boss and some of these guys.
You can live with Burris and Strahan, I guess.
Strahan, I got to admit, he played great. But I actually felt like a fan. I really did. It was a fun experience. It was great. The Giant fans were going crazy, and it was a remarkable game. It really was. It was a great 7-3 game. As Dog said last night on Mic'd Up, when you get those kind of lead changes in the fourth quarter and drives like that, and the defense was brilliant, And then, though, the defense, though, did yield the touchdown. And the only reason the defense is going to get those kudos is because their quarterback bailed them out.
That's a good point.
If Brady sticks it in there, he's a hero. He did drive the length of the field and stick it in with 2 minutes left.
He did.
And there's the perfect season, Tom Brady. But Eli said no. So, in the end, the defense, the pass rush, ferocious. But Eli is the one who kept the Pats from being perfect. And, of course, Tyree, who made, as I watched it this morning in slow-mo, one of the remarkable catches of all time.
Well, they both
that play is one of the most, from him getting out of the grass.
That's it.
And then making that play. That is literally and figuratively, in every way you can even expound on it, that is one of the great plays in football history. It was remarkable.
I will give the Giant fan this. I was neutral in the game. So, I mean, I can't say that I was crazy one way or the other. Part of me was rooting for the Patriots to go unbeaten. Part of me was rooting for the Giants, and I like Mr. Mara. I like a lot of these scenarios with the team. I love Ernie, so part of me was rooting there too. But I'm not going to sit there and say I was unabashed rooting for the Giants. That would not be consistent with yours truly. But as far as the whole game is concerned, to me, it really comes down to two things, and we'll go through every single play for you if you wish. It comes down to the idea that I thought the defensive line. Listen. This is not breaking any news. I've heard everybody say the same thing. The defensive line set the tone early in this game.
Absolutely.
They banged Brady around. They killed that Patriot offensive line. They did have 5 sacks, hit him many more times than that. Defensive line set a tone. Strahan's part of that. So we got to be fair and give Strahan his kudos. And then Manning had not just one drive. He had 2 drives in the fourth quarter. He had a great pass to Boss, which was for 49 yards, so much for making a big deal about Boss doing, warehouse commercials. I'm not the only boss in town. Here comes Bruce Springsteen to Meadowlands. When I made a big deal about how the Giants partied after that Packer win. That's number one. That was a good drive. And then, of course, the drive at the end, too. And the Tyree catch is Tommy Agee, Ron Swoboda. This is 69 Mets. And the other play that is unsung is that 3rd and 11 play to
Smith.
Oh, that's a huge play. Eli rolling right, gets the first down. That's an unheralded play. And Smith, had a big drop. That was not Eli's fault. He played well.
Yeah, 5 catches.
So, I mean, in essence, the Patriots let the Giants hang around. And the Giants did what they do. I mean, I think John Mara is correct. I think it's the greatest win in the history of the franchise. I think it's much bigger than 80, based on the fact that that 80 team, 90 team had some expectations to it.
Listen, the 90 team, the 89 team
was still a very good team.
Listen, the 90 team was a very good team.
Had Parcells, had some
the
things
90 team had a lot of remnants of the 86 team, which was a great team.
Right.
And the 89 team thought they were going to win the Super Bowl. I can tell you right now. I mean, the 89 team, they thought they were. A lot of people will tell you that of that group that they thought the 89 team was the best team in the whole Parcells era.
Right.
And that was the Flipper Anderson game, and that was a heartbreak.
Terrible loss.
That was a very good team. And
plus, the 88 team wasn't bad. They lost the last game of the year and got knocked out.
This was not like this year with the Giants. But, it was funny, dog. We learned a lot from that game in that, the earmarks, when you look at it, were there with the Pats. They were not the same team the last couple of weeks.
Little stale, Mike.
They were not there with Brady. Brady was not throwing a deep ball the last couple of weeks in the playoffs and stuff like that, and he wasn't good throwing it. He made a couple decent throws last night, but he didn't take any excuses, which is good. Belichick was his old rotten self in the postgame.
Well, I want to play those cuts later.
He's a bad loser. He's always been a bad loser. And I'll tell you something, it wasn't a great game for Belichick, and I'll tell you one of the reasons why, and I was saying this to the people in the stands during the game, having been a viewer of Belichick's work for 25 years. Belichick is a brilliant tactician, and you will see this many times. Whatever they do on the first drive, Belichick will always gather, when he was a coordinator or when he's been a head coach, will always gather his defense after that first drive the other team has, and will go to work and really redesign stuff on the flow. Right. From what he's seen from the offense early. He's brilliant at that, and you will always see him back there while the offense is on the field. Problem was, Belichick is not the brilliant offensive coach. And last night, they did not react well enough to the Giant pressure and react to get that changed. And I thought maybe they would come out the second half and go to that power game they showed against the Chargers. But for whatever reason, they didn't want to do that against the Giants. Now, maybe that wouldn't have worked against the Giants, and they knew that, and I didn't know that. But I expected to see a big change a lot more max protection, a lot more two-man routes. Let's just work with Moss. Let's work with some play action off the running game. Let's pound it. They didn't do that. They stayed pretty much where they were. So their reaction to what the Giants doing, we always give the Patriots enormous credit for their adjustments. We didn't get them on offense. They didn't adjust well last night to what the Giants were doing the whole game.
And let's give them two other things.
Adjust well last night to what the Giants were doing the whole game.
And let's give them two other things. Now, I got it confused because I thought the question was the other field goal. You certainly can make an argument
on the 4th and 13 is where the 48-yarder.
You could kick a field goal.
Look, I didn't think he could. I told you right that we discussed that among us in the stands, and I think that told you that Belichick didn't want to punt there. And didn't think the kicker was going to make a 48-yarder, which told you he's got to be a kicker.
Yeah, it's indoors.
And we know the kicker's bad because he cost us money this year.
Vinatieri, so he's a well-known guy. He went for it on 4th and 13. Plus, it sounds like, though people weren't so sure about it, I asked this morning about that challenge with Bradshaw's fumble at the.
I heard a lot of that.
A lot of people thought that if they would have challenged that, he would have gotten the possession at the 30-yard.
I got a lot of calls on that last night on my voicemail that should have been challenged. Now, this morning when I watched all the highlights, I did not see that play.
No, nobody showed it.
So no one made a big deal out of that play, and I haven't watched the game tape yet. But a lot of people, and Phil left me a message last night. Sims was going to come on and said if he had challenged that, he would have got it. And I don't know, I haven't seen it yet, but a lot of people felt that way, that ball, the Pats reacted like they had the ball.
Right.
And then they said after a long delay, giant ball. Now, that ball's getting pulled and pulled and pulled and pulled, but a lot of people felt that ball was pulled after it was already recovered, and it should have been Patriot ball.
Challenge in the first half there is not a big deal. It's only a timeout. I would have tried it. But, again, those are little nitpicks with Belichick. We'll spend a little time on the devastation of this loss from a New England standpoint. This is an incredible win for the Giants.
This is a great New York City moment.
This is as good as it gets. This is 69, and that's amazing. I was thinking about it last night. The Giants, now listen, the Buffalo game is not as huge as this, but now the Giant fan has had 2 Super Bowl championships. Now, I had the Raven game in between, which left a bitter taste, but he did have 2 Super Bowl championships in the last 17 years where he pulled off a miracle in both games. He pulled off a miracle in both games. He missed a 47-yard field goal with Norwood. Buffalo was probably a better team than the Giants, but the Giants did what they had to do. And last night they played 10 times. Pats probably beat 8. But as it turned out, the Giants won the most important game. So the Giant fan has had 2 of these now in the last 17 years, and that doesn't usually happen.
No, the Giants.
And that's just a tremendous job by the Giants.
The Giants are the 8th team to win. They're the 8th team to win 3 Super Bowls. That puts them in the upper quarter of the league. Okay, so your franchise in the Super Bowl era, they're the upper quarter of the league. There's only 8 franchises that have won 3 or more.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, San Francisco.
I saw someone report that.
San Francisco, Dallas, the Pats, Pittsburgh.
I didn't add it up, but they said 8 teams have won 3 or more.
Green Bay. Oh, Green Bay. That's 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
They said there's 8.
It probably is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that puts them in the upper quarter of the league. Number 2, the Giants have had a great postseason history. When they get the NFC Championship games, they win them. And that's different from the 50s and the 60s. And they get the Super Bowls at 3-1, including 2 enormous defeats. They've played 2 of the great Super Bowls of all time. 25 has always been considered the best played Super Bowl.
And this is going to be dramatic.
And this is going to be since Super Bowl 3, this is probably the best upset in the Super Bowl. I mean, this is bigger than I think Pats Rams because of this.
Because
of Belichick, because of Brady, and because they're 18-0.
No question about it. It's bigger than the Pats Rams. I couldn't agree with you more. Much bigger. The Rams didn't have the cachet that the Patriots have. This is an unbelievable job of the Giants. I mean, I feel good for Coughlin, who everybody wanted them knocked out of here last year. I killed Manning, so I can't say anything more about him. He's won a championship. He's going on Letterman. He's doing this. That's it. He's J.C. Martin. I mean, not that he's J.C. Martin, but
he's better than that.
Yeah, but
he's bigger than that.
Right, but you know what I'm saying. He's Tommy Agee. He's Lon Saboto. He's any of those things.
He's legendary. Eli will never have to do. Now listen, he's a young man. He's only played 4 years. He's going to be around here forever. But this is Eli's franchise now. He's the toast of the town.
Oh, he is. He can do anything he wants.
Eli can do whatever he wants for the rest of his life. New York will love. When Eli's 60 years old and he comes back to a New York function, he will get a standing ovation. Eli is golden for life.
Oh, he is. And he made a wonderful, typical slapstick, right to play in the dirt, sandlot kind of play on that pass to Tyree.
I'm going to say something crazy to you that I thought of last night. Eli is not Peyton.
No, he's not. No.
But Eli, in his young career, has shown a proficiency to be better late in the game even than Peyton.
He does. He brings his teams back.
Cool late in the game.
He brings his team.
He likes to, like I was sitting with Lieben and sitting with all these guys last night, diehard Giant fans, and I said, hey, well, remember one thing, guys. Eli's, this is what he likes. He's a 2-minute guy.
And I thought the Patriots, now this is a little nitpick. Mike didn't agree with it necessarily when I brought it up last night.
Because I think it was so hard to score, you have to take the score when you can get it.
I understand. But 2:42 to go, first and goal at the 6. They ran 2 incomplete passes. I am myself.
And Tom probably would have used the timeout.
Yeah, he would have let it go to 2-minute warning at least on first down.
He might have used the timeout just to save some of those seconds. Because they wouldn't have, if they had stopped them, they wouldn't have run it again after that. So he would have probably said, you know what, let me save these 40 seconds.
He may have. Yeah. But I would have made them make a move there. Either let it go to 2-minute warning.
And maybe use the timeout.
Well, I would have let him do one of the two things.
You want to run on first down, which is not unfair.
I'm not going to run on second down now, because I understand what Mike is saying. You got to get the touchdown. But remember, they had the field goal. They had the tie.
Yeah, but they want the touchdown.
They want the touchdown, but they know they're not going to lose the game because he's going to make a 15-yard field goal. But I would have thought about that if I was Brady. But they gave Manning too much time.
First down, he went to Moss. He went to Moss on first down, he threw it away. Second down, he went to Welker. And third down, he went back to Moss. You know, and you find out, isn't it true? Don't we always say it? And you say it even more than me. Quarterbacks, when it's nitty-gritty time, they go to one guy. Brady went completely to Moss. He went completely to Burris.
And Morris played well.
He went. You knew when he get to the end zone, he was going to Burris. I mean, there was any question he was going to go to Burris. Now, Burris caught 2 balls last night.
But he caught the most important
one. But you knew on that late one he was going to go to Burris, just like he went to Moss every time. Late he threw to Moss. And I'll tell you one thing, folks, because it was right in front of me, right on my side. Randy Moss, I'm telling you, if you saw it in slow-mo, he came within an inch of catching that ball. And he would have been on the 11, and he might have even carried the
corner. Well, they had 3 timeouts. He might have called one timeout.
He might have carried the corner into the end zone. He might have carried him into the end zone with that momentum. He almost caught that ball.
Like to see that play again.
Full out. I was on about the 25. He was on about the 11 or 12. Here it is. He almost catches this ball here about the 20. I'm telling you, it was on my side. You watch. This ball is, I'm telling you, I thought as it came down, it was going to be in his hands. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. That ball, I'm telling you, I thought he was going to catch it when it was coming down.
That's the first good look I've gotten out of it, Mike. Good job there.
I saw there, though, that he would not have scored.
He would not have scored.
But they had timeouts, and they would at least have the field goal and maybe a touchdown.
They would have. And I give Morse credit because from what I was told, Morse after the game, boy, that is close.
Look at that. Look at that, dog.
Boy, that is close.
Look at that. He's almost got the ball.
Very close. And I hear Morse after the game was very good to the Giants. Hey, listen.
Very good. I saw him. Very good. Very gracious.
Morse came across well this week. Yeah, Brady did a great job.
Yes.
Morse came across, and I know it's crazy and nobody wants to hear it. The amazing thing about Brady, when he got the sack off the Giant touchdown with 25 seconds to go, his butt wasn't on the ground. And he was signaling timeout to Mike Carey. I admired Brady in this
Alfred hit him so hard on that play.
Yeah.
Lifted him off the ground and just squashed him. But before he went down, he was
calling out timeout.
Yeah, he was.
All right, Mike and I have plenty to do today. Let's watch this again. Watch this, Mike. He is getting...
And he got just pounded.
I mean,
there is.
No, not as quick as I thought, but he did get it out. He did.
Watch him. Look at the hit he takes. Oh.
They could not block.
He took a...
No, they couldn't block.
You know how many times he got knocked down? 19.
He took a beating. We'll get some of that in. We'll get your calls in and continue. Gatorade for Mink, Sports Radio 66.
Well, Chris Giant coach Tom Coughlin addressing the media one last time at Super Bowl 42. The Giants are champs, and the coach talked about the final drive. It was Eli Manning directing the Giants to the win after Tom Brady had put New England in the end zone.
Now he's got it deep inside. He masks it very, very well. And so his development has been very, very steady. I mean, you all know he's had great, great games. I mean, I don't know how anybody who saw the Philadelphia game at the beginning of the season a year ago could, wow.